point is, the answer is the right people have to be at the table. Not somebody that some supervisor thinks is, their person in the community. We have to go deeper than that. We have to make sure we get to the right people.
To answer that question, I believe that we need to include more community-based organizations, more faith-based organizations in our effort to make sure that this realignment is successful. Because no matter what the bottom line is, that it's mandated by the state and we have to deal with it now. I believe the funding is in place right now for the short term, but it's incumbent on me as the sheriff when I'm elected to make sure that we continue that source of funding. And there's not a lot of money to go around, but I believe that it's very important to make sure we include as many organizations as we can. Currently we have 17 organizations that we utilize throughout the community to help us in our endeavors. I believe that there are more out there that we can tap as a resource. And I think that's important because when you mention Brothers Against Guns, Sean Richards, when you mention individuals who have been involved in the Reentry Council like Joe Miller, these are people that we want to tap as resources to make it more effective. One of the things that I would like to see as somebody who's been inside the jail working with the program staff is I'd like to infuse some of our coordinators, some of our case managers with some youth, some individuals who identify more with some of the younger individuals coming into our system. I think that's very important. I think we need to tap that resource as something where we can relate more to the individuals incarcerated so that people will be more receptive to the message that we try to send. And we do have very effective programs and services now that I feel that we should keep in place and build upon with more participation from other community groups and organizations.
We have the infrastructure in place. It's called the Reentry Council. In fact, I'd like to see if there's anybody here who's ever been part of the Reentry Council or who's attended a meeting. Please raise your hands, if anybody is. So there's several people here, and that means that the Reentry Council is important to get the message out, because what I said before is critically important about what it is in order to proceed with realignment and reentry and do so effectively. The governing body that advises the mayor and the board of supervisors now and the city, what is community driven, is the Reentry Council. And that is why it's important to recognize that all the local criminal justice partners, they have a combined budget of $1.4 billion out of the $6.8 billion budget in San Francisco. The question about us doing proper and effective realignment and reentry programs is our capacity to do it well. Right now, San Francisco has the capacity in order to receive inmates that are coming in and manage the current population of inmates. But after the first 700 that come to San Francisco, what are we going to do about the next 700 and then the next 700 after that? That's why this is not a vague discussion. This is why we legislated and memorialized now a system in place that completely invites the public, not in this kind of casual way, but a formal way, because it has to be community driven. That's how serious it is. And I'm not sheriff yet, respectfully, but I do want to say that I started working with the chief of adult probation, the sheriff, and everybody else on this well over 9 months ago, so that San Francisco could be prepared. It doesn't start in January when we're inaugurated sheriff. This has been ongoing for literally almost a year now. That's why we have the variables in place. That's why I think San Francisco can send a lesson to the rest of California of what it means to help reform the criminal justice system with proper reentry in encountering realignment. Thank you.